They're tiny but carry a disease that's potentially deadly to cattle.
The fever tick is becoming a bigger concern for area ranchers. Channel 5's Kristen Van Prysen explains what's being done to stop the spread.
There's one city in the valley where the number of deer rival the number of people. In Port Mansfield, does and fawns run around homes. Bucks, their antlers still in velvet, strut around the streets, outside front doors. And the people?
For me, they look beautiful.
Daniel Cantu notes how tame the deer are, how close you can get to them, and how much they like people's food.
You can feed them. They come exactly standing up with you here so you can feed them.
There are clear signs the deer are eating and breeding. The problem, the state and federal government say white-tailed deer carry the fever tick, a deadly parasite that can jump from deer to cow.
It causes anemia in cattle also.
This is John Montalbano, who runs the Country Vet, a practice that sees large ranch animals in Harlingen.
Suddenly, cattle are very ill with a high fever, and it is oftentimes fatal for cattle.
It's the reason why the USDA and the Texas Animal Health Commission enforce temporary and permanent quarantine zones. Generally, cattle in those zones have to be dipped in a liquid that kills the tick before they can be transported to non-quarantine areas.
Then cattle come in on a trailer. My first question to them is, have you come from a quarantine zone and have you been dipped out of it? And if they say, no, we haven't, and we're from, well, they do not get their cattle off of the trailer. They stay up there and I send them on their way.
The state and feds believe the white-tailed deer can compromise the quarantine by carrying ticks across the boundaries. In June, in a joint effort, they rounded up 90 deer and put them down. They say it was a quarter of the population in these streets of Port Mansfield. Nearly 1 in 7 was carrying the fever tick. They may not harm people.
No problem to nobody.
The deer still pose a threat to cattle.
They will continue to be the potential carrier.
The fight against a nearly invisible tick isn't over. In Port Mansfield, Christian Van Prysen, Channel 5 News at 10.